Coming to the after party, you know? Yeah!
Good, you're doing so good.
I just want to say,
The entertainment industry is no stranger to scandals, but the recent revelations surrounding Sean Diddy Combs have exposed a darker, more sinister side of Hollywood that most of us never imagined. What was once whispered about behind closed doors is now coming to light, and it's far more disturbing than anyone could have anticipated.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
From lavish, exclusive parties filled with A-list celebrities to shocking allegations of exploitation and control, Diddy's legacy as a music mogul has been tarnished by these devastating accusations.
Diddy in Young Miami host a New Year celebration on his luxury yacht in St. Bart's.
What's up, my brother Fab? What's up, you pulled up? Yeah! Yeah!
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Make no mistake, this isn't just about Diddy. The allegations against him are opening the door to a much larger web of deceit, manipulation, and abuse in Hollywood. The powerful connections between entertainment and politics, the hidden lives of celebrities, and the exploitation of young talent are all coming under scrutiny.
Clues of what was allegedly behind the curtain began to emerge in November when Diddy's former girlfriend Cassie Ventura sued the mogul in federal court on allegations of rape and a decade-long pattern of physical and sexual abuse. The singer, who was previously signed to Diddy's Bad Boy Records, claimed the rapper was controlling of every aspect of her life, including where she lived, what she wore, and even her medical records. The suit alleged several instances of abuse committed by Diddy, including battery, rape, and forcing her to have sex with male workers. The suit also claims Diddy used intimidation to control the R&B singer, including allegedly having someone blow up another rapper's car after Diddy learned he was interested in romantically pursuing Cassie when they were on a break period from their relationship. The suit also alleges Diddy became violent, beating Cassie multiple times each year. In one instance, Diddy allegedly pushed her into a car, then proceeded to kick her in the face repeatedly.
This scandal isn't just about Diddy, it's about a broader network of Hollywood's elite, a secret web of power that has touched political figures, musicians, actors, and more. Today, we're uncovering the story behind Diddy's downfall, revealing the dark connections that stretch far beyond just one man. This is about an industry-wide culture of secrecy and exploitation, where those with power can silence others, and the most vulnerable are often the ones who suffer the most. Diddy's infamous parties and hidden exploitation. Diddy's legendary parties, often referred to as freak-offs, have long been a topic of conversation in the entertainment industry. But what most people didn't know is just how sinister these gatherings truly were.
We want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did it.
No. I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. You know, shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, just let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even, like, I don't want it to come close to the bed, at all. Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Usher.
Fresh off the guard stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and I mean, damn, pause, but like, just I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early.
These weren't simply events filled with celebrities. They were gatherings where the lines between fun and exploitation were blurred. Young stars, lured by promises of fame, often found themselves in situations they were ill-equipped to handle. Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Simon Cowell were regular attendees, but behind closed doors, the real stories were about control and manipulation. It was like a different world, one source said, where the most powerful people could get away with anything. These parties weren't about the music industry. They were about asserting power over vulnerable individuals. As the layers of secrecy peel away, it's clear that Diddy's influence went far beyond his musical empire, and the ramifications of his actions are only now being fully understood. Ushers Experience with Diddy's mentorship.
4-4, all you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. Let's go, kick in the door, waving the 4-4. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Usher's relationship with Diddy started as a mentorship, or at least that's how it was sold. At a young age, Usher was eager to learn from one of the biggest names in the industry. I thought I was getting a guide through the chaos, Usher said in a recent interview, but what Usher found instead was a world far darker than he had imagined. Diddy's mentorship went beyond professional advice. He exposed Usher to the darker side of the industry, introducing him to the wild parties where inappropriate behavior was normalized. I wasn't ready for that kind of environment, Usher admitted.
Sending you over to something called Puffy Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going to
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
And your parents were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 in the morning with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like,
what
like
a
living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
The trust Usher placed in Diddy was manipulated, much like the trust of other young stars who fell under his influence. Usher's story reveals a pattern of exploitation disguised as guidance, where Diddy used his influence to maintain control over the young talent that surrounded him. Kamala Harris and Diddy's former associates rallying around her.
You know, it's just 17 days away from a very important election, as we all know. And we have the opportunity to choose a new generation of leadership for our country. We all know what it means to be supportive, but ladies and gentlemen, we are here to support the next president of the United States. Kamala Harris, ladies and gentlemen. I'm supporting Vice President Harris because she fights for everyone's rights.
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but But I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, you know, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans, Jodeci, Mary J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time.
As more of Diddy's former associates come forward with their stories, one of the most surprising developments is their public support for Kamala Harris. While on the surface, it might seem like an unrelated political endorsement, many are questioning whether there's a deeper connection between Diddy's world and the political landscape. There's more going on here than meets the eye, said a political commentator. Obama's past praise for Diddy in a resurfaced video has only fueled speculation. Some believe that figures like Diddy, who once had immense power in both entertainment and political spheres, are now seeking protection or favor from influential politicians like Harris. As more details emerge, it's clear that Diddy's reach extended far beyond the music industry, touching political power and influence in ways that are only now being uncovered. Kyle Marissa Roth's mysterious death. Kyle Marissa Roth, a popular TikToker known for exposing the details of Diddys Parties, was found dead at the age of 36 under mysterious circumstances. Roth had been vocal about the attendees at these infamous gatherings, naming celebrities like Jay-Z and Simon Cowell, and giving insight into what really went on behind the scenes.
Because my main account is banned where all of my Diddy blind items from this month are, I'm just gonna do all the March 2024 Diddy blind items so we can see the lead up to this. Starting off March 1st, and this is Little Rod, Rodney Jones, Sean Diddy Combs, and this is the male victim that came forward. It's pretty easy to tell that whoever wrote the recent lawsuit against the wannabe rapper / producer reads this website on a pretty regular basis. They even use some of the same clues in their blind items. And I said before and I'm saying again, no, that's because the blind item has been recording crimes that have been reported to them instead of police for the past fucking 20 years. And they just corroborate the actual little crimes that, you know, 3 homes got raided for today because of. Okay, this next one's also from March 1st. They call Diddy Mr. Freakoff. Mr. Freakoff isn't the only one who asked for straight men to be delivered to his hotel room when he is in London. Just ask the Unlocked blogger, and that's Jason Lee, and the weather boxer, Floyd Mayweather. This British rapper, and that's Giggs, and the socialite with a star in his name target dealers who want the extra cash, who are sure to be discreet because they have girlfriends. This is why the powerful rapper, and that's 50, is always mocking them and why they're too afraid to say anything back. He's seen the videos. Okay. This is TD Jakes and Mr. Freakoff. Those closest to the televangelist warned him about being associated with Mr. Freakoff, but he did not listen. Some of the men who claim to have stories about his private life have given him the name General High Booty. So Mr. Freakoff is Diddy, General High Booty is TD Jakes. I'm sure you can do the math on how that got there, that nickname. Sorry guys, I'm flustered right now. Fucking, this is huge. Young Miami. The girlfriend of the wannabe rapper, who was also named in a very recent lawsuit, has started selling off all of her possessions online. This is from March 4th. It sounds like the wannabe rapper cut her off financially. So Diddy cuts his girlfriend Young Miami off on March 4th. You are like almost exactly 20 days later. That's him. Like I said, he was offloading all of his assets into offshore bank accounts, and with his mommy and with his kids, he didn't have any more cash in his bank accounts for Young Miami to get. They were all in the Caymans with the rest of the white collar criminals. Okay, and this is a 2013 blind item that like was brought back again on March 4th about Beyonce, Jay-Z, Diddy, Kelly Rowland. In 2013, the Queen Bee and her husband attended a New Year's Eve party in Miami, which was being thrown by Mr. Freakoff. No one who was there has ever forgotten that night because she spent the entire night in the pool dancing into space. Her best friend, who recently starred in the Netflix movie, called for help, but she was ignored. It's like she was in a trance. By the way, so this is Beyonce and Jay-Z party into 2014 at Diddy's New Year's Eve bash. So you can Google that, like Diddy's 2013, you know, New Year's Eve bash, obviously bringing in 2014. And you can see in the articles how they had included, like had linked Beyonce's Instagram account, and all all of her posts from this 2013 party were removed when I initially reported on this blind item from my main account at the beginning of March. I just find that interesting. Do you guys see how like all of these chips were kind of falling? This is why I'm also so pissed my main's not here anymore, because I had captured this all in real time. And I remember being like, oh, that's weird. All of Beyonce's posts from Diddy's party are fucking gone, and any evidence of her being there are fucking gone. This one aged so well, you guys. So this is about Little Rod, the male victim that filed a lawsuit against Diddy. Publicly, there are more, but they just haven't publicly done anything. And then TD Jakes, General High Beauty.
Her sudden death has raised serious questions about whether she was silenced for revealing too much. She knew things that made people in power nervous, said a close friend. Roth's death serves as a chilling reminder of the dangers faced by those who dared to expose the truth about Hollywood's dark side. Her story is a tragic one, and it highlights the risks of standing up against the powerful. As more people come forward, Roth's death stands as a warning of what can happen when you challenge the status quo in an industry built on secrets. Eminem and the fear of a secret list. Eminem, one of Diddy's longtime associates, has remained largely silent on the issue, but insiders claim that he is deeply concerned about a rumored secret list that could implicate him and others in Diddy's network.
Eminem, you know, this Eminem right here, is choosing to introduce Barack Obama at the Kamala Harris Detroit rally. And I think it's safe to say that Eminem is probably going to lose half of his fan base by doing this. I mean, he did just endorse Kamala Harris, which is a really embarrassing move. Because not only did Eminem endorse Kamala Harris, but Usher did as well. Not only did Usher endorse Kamala Harris, but Lizzo did as well. So you have Barack Obama, who chooses to shame black men for voting the way that they want to and having their own opinion. And then you have Lizzo, who's known for shaming women, specifically black women. This is just a horrible look for Kamala Harris's campaign at this point. I mean, they're trying to bring out every single person they can to possibly win. Look, I don't have a political stance, okay, because I know how politics truly work. But do know there is a lesser of two evils here, okay? As hard as that is to believe. And if you think that in some way Barack Obama was a good president, I highly implore you to explain as to how he was. And then as soon as you can and want to choose to make up excuses, I want you to go check out one of my pinned videos at the top of my profile about the 2008 financial crisis. Because that'll really open your eyes about Barack Obama. But not just them though, but also Bill Gates, who has said privately that he recently donated about $50 million to a nonprofit organization that is supporting Vice President Kamala Harris's presidential run. Bill Gates, are you fucking kidding me? Does nobody actually know who Bill Gates really is? Because him supporting Kamala Harris and himself should really just show you the bigger picture here. But weirdly enough, people will still choose to be so fucking delusional.
This list, which allegedly contains the names of celebrities who participated in or were aware of the darker side of Diddy's parties, has many in the industry on edge. Eminem is terrified. One source revealed, if that list gets out, it could ruin careers. While Eminem has not publicly addressed these rumors, his close relationship with Diddy over the years has left many wondering just how deep his involvement goes. As the scandal unfolds, the possibility of a secret list coming to light could expose the hidden alliances and activities that Hollywood has kept under wraps for so long. Diddy's connection to a fresh lawsuit involving a minor. The most recent lawsuit filed against Diddy is perhaps the most disturbing yet. It accuses him of drugging and assaulting a 13-year-old girl at one of his infamous parties, while two other celebrities allegedly watched without intervening.
Coming to the after party tonight? Yeah! Good, you're doing so good.
I just want to say,
This lawsuit is a powerful reminder of how far Diddy's predatory behavior reached, and it raises questions about how many other young individuals were similarly victimized. It's horrifying to think this could happen in plain sight, said a legal expert. The lawsuit shines a light on the dark, hidden aspects of Diddy's lifestyle that have long been whispered about, but never fully exposed. As the case progresses, it's becoming clear that the abuse of power in Hollywood is far more widespread than many had imagined, with Diddy at the center of it all. Diddy's invitation to a 13-year-old actress to one of his after parties.
Coming to the after party tonight? Yeah! Good, you're doing so good.
I just want to say,
In recently resurfaced footage, Diddy is seen inviting 13-year-old actress Dave Chase to one of his infamous after-parties. This footage has sparked outrage and reignited the conversation around Diddy's inappropriate behavior toward minors. "I didn't understand what was happening at the time," Chase reportedly said. The invitation, now viewed in the context of the broader scandal surrounding Diddy, has raised serious concerns about how young stars were drawn into a world they were far too young to navigate. Chase's story is just one of many, showing how Diddy used his power and influence to manipulate and exploit young talent. The resurfaced footage is a stark reminder of the long-standing issues in Hollywood, where those with power prey on the vulnerable. Diddy's warning about child welfare at his parties. It has recently been revealed that Diddy once warned his associates about the potential for child welfare authorities to show up at one of his freak-offs. This warning is a clear indication that Diddy knew exactly what was going on at these events and the risks involved. He was always careful to cover his tracks, one former associate said. Diddy's ability to orchestrate these events while avoiding legal consequences for so long speaks to the culture of secrecy and protection that exists in Hollywood.
I think I made my point clear, so if child welfare come in here in 30 minutes, that's on y'all. My kid is downstairs. 15 minutes, the kids have to go. Thank you very much.
His warning about child welfare authorities adds yet another layer to the complex web of manipulation and exploitation that surrounded his life. It's becoming clear that Diddy's parties were far more than just celebrity get-togethers. They were carefully controlled environments where he could wield his power without fear of repercussions. Usher's connection to Kamala Harris and political alignment. As Usher continues to reveal more about his experiences with Diddy, his public support for Kamala Harris has raised questions about the connections between Hollywood and politics. Some believe that Usher, like other Hollywood elites, may be aligning himself with political figures to secure protection as the scandal surrounding Diddy grows. "It's all about who you know," said one political analyst. Usher's connection to Harris suggests that those involved in Hollywood's darkest scandals are seeking alliances in the political world, hoping to shield themselves from the fallout. This alignment between Hollywood and politics is yet another example of how deep the connections go, and how those in power use their influence to protect themselves. The resurfacing of Diddy's political influence with Obama.
I don't understand how we got so toxic and just so divided and so bitter, and I get why sometimes people just don't want to pay attention to it. And we all have friends like that. We have family members who just like, you know, it's all a circus out there. I get that.
As more details about Diddy's scandal come to light, an old video of Obama thanking Diddy has resurfaced, raising new questions about the extent of Diddy's political influence. Diddy wasn't just a music mogul, he had connections in Washington, said one commentator. The video, which shows Obama expressing gratitude toward Diddy, has sparked renewed interest in Diddy's ties to the political world. His involvement in high-level political circles may have allowed him to escape scrutiny for years, using his influence to protect himself from the consequences of his actions. The resurfacing of this video is a reminder that Diddy's power extended far beyond music, reaching into the realms of politics and governance. Eminem's link to Rachel Chandler and Epstein. Perhaps one of the most disturbing connections to emerge in the wake of Diddy's scandal is Eminem's rumored link to Rachel Chandler, a known associate of Jeffrey Epstein. Chandler, who has long been associated with Epstein's dark activities, is now being tied to Diddy's network, raising serious questions about the extent of these connections. "This is bigger than Diddy," one source said. "This is about an entire network of exploitation." Eminem's involvement, whether intentional or not, has raised concerns about how deep the ties between Hollywood's elite and figures like Epstein and Chandler go.
When I start talking about Trump, I get too flustered in my head, and the shit that I want to say, there's too many things I want to say at once. So sometimes I start talking and I'm not able to convey the message the right way because I just get flustered and frustrated. Watching him play to his base that thinks that he cares about them, and it's actually the people that he cares about the fucking least. If you're talking about his core being, you know, a majority white middle class, what I don't understand is how in the fuck do you feel like you relate to a billionaire who has never known struggle his entire fucking life? I will say this, he talks a good one. And if you're in his base, you're a core, let's say you're going to the rallies or whatever, you watch him on TV, you hear him talking this shit, there's part of me that understands, like, all right, he's somehow still got them because he's brainwashing them into thinking that something great is gonna happen. Nothing's happening. Nothing is happening. I don't know, man. I get really flustered when I talk about it.
The connection between Diddy, Eminem, and this broader network of influence is yet another layer in the complex story of power and control in Hollywood. Diddy's involvement in scandalous relationships and affairs. Rumors about Diddy's involvement in scandalous relationships, including affairs with married individuals, have long swirled in Hollywood, but recent revelations have tied these affairs to his infamous parties.
And you got Queenla Imhoff in there. You know who Imhoff is?
No.
Yes, you do.
Who?
Mrs. Imhoff, Vice President of the United States, who goes by her maiden name.
Miss Kamala?
Kamala Harris. She's got 2 Jewish children she adopted. She married a Jewish husband. Got a
I'm scared to talk about Kamala Harris. I'll let you have that one.
She's a witch, and she is a corrupt witch. She's been corrupt her whole life, and she fucked her way to the top.
Oh, Lord.
They used to detail this witch in the LA Times with her sexual escapades. She fucked damn near everybody trying to get up. She used to be a frat hoe when she was at Howard. And she ain't black. You know,
I ain't got nothing to do with this, Miss Harris.
Nah, I mean, well, don't, but she's
I don't know, I'm just listening.
Well, here's the thing. I actually met her father in Jamaica. I was the guest, sat at the Governor General's table, and he was a professor.
These weren't just casual affairs. Diddy's relationships were intertwined with the manipulation and control that characterized his gatherings. Diddy's parties were about more than just having fun, one insider revealed. His warning about child welfare authorities showing up at these parties only confirms the darker side of what was happening behind closed doors. These affairs, coupled with the inappropriate behavior at his events, paint a disturbing picture of Diddy's life and the world he created for those around him. The growing list of accusations against Diddy.
Disgraced music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, once known for his lavish lifestyle and living large in his multi-million-dollar mansions, has a new home as he awaits trial in his federal sex trafficking case. Last week, the Bad Boy Founder's defense team unsuccessfully fought to keep the music producer out of federal jail after his arrest. Now his new digs once housed other high-profile inmates, including R. Kelly, Fetty Wap, Sam Bankman-Fried, and Ghislaine Maxwell. Diddy is currently housed at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York, a stark difference from the glitz, glamour, and wealth in Hollywood and Star Island in Miami Beach, Florida. But MDC Brooklyn has been described as hell on earth, with horrifying conditions. The facility, which now houses Diddy, opened in the early 90s and is the only federal jail in New York City after the Bureau of Prisons closed its Metropolitan Correctional Center in 2021 after many issues came to light in the wake of Jeffrey Epstein's suicide just 2 years earlier.
Now, Abby, that video that you just spoke about was a few months ago when our team broke this disturbing video of Diddy violently assaulting his ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, better known as the singer, her stage name, Cassie. Now, up until this point, when we broke this video, Diddy had denied the allegations against him. Cassie is one of 10 civil suits against Diddy, 9 of which he is accused directly of sexually assault. Up until that video, he denied everything. After that video came out, he changed his tone. He apologized for his conduct in that video. But I have to tell you, Abby, just as of last week, a former member of Danity Kane, which was one of the bands from Making the Band, Diddy's show that was on MTV, she sued him for sexual assault and other disturbing allegations, and he denied that. So he continues the denials, and he still maintains his innocence, even though he has been arrested tonight.
As more victims come forward, the accusations against Diddy continue to grow, painting a devastating picture of a man who used his power to exploit those around him. From his inappropriate behavior with minors to his manipulation of young stars, Diddy's history of predatory actions is being fully exposed. The list of accusations is endless, said one legal expert. Diddy's attempts to silence his accusers, whether through intimidation or legal means, are beginning to unravel as more people find the courage to speak out.
Kim unfollowed Diddy Diddy 24 hours before that happened. She and Chris has close ties, but the FBI and law enforcement, they know something was gonna happen. They know everything.
Any man that has a sister, any man that has a friend that's a girl, any man that has a child, you understand, who saw that, if they wasn't appalled.
Zionist media handlers surrounding her, all in and out her Hulu TV show, all in and out her family, all in and out the house that I created for my family. But she's not here just to have content up on adult channels. She's not here just to have that last interview magazine.
Kim is a friend of mine. We always talk about everything that's going on in the system, and I think she's doing a lot of good work. She's doing a lot of work more than other people who have platforms who might even came from that situation. So,
breaking news tonight, Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in a Manhattan hotel this evening after a grand jury indicted the music mogul. His attorney tells CNN that he is currently being processed. The charges are unclear as of this moment. Joining us now is CNN's entertainment reporter Elizabeth Wagmeister, and also with us CNN chief legal correspondent Ellie Honing. Elizabeth, you were a big part of revealing some details about Diddy's conduct in private over the course of the last couple of months. That video led to a lot more scrutiny on what he has been accused of. What do we know at this point about what this case might ultimately be about?
Abby, at the moment, we don't know what the charges are. I have information that he was arrested tonight at a Manhattan hotel. He is currently being processed. I heard from his attorney, they are still maintaining his innocence. They said that in anticipation of these charges, that Diddy relocated to New York last week.
The growing list of allegations against Diddy is a stark reminder of how long he was able to operate with impunity and how far-reaching the consequences of his actions truly are. Hollywood's deep web of secrets and Diddy's role. Diddy's scandal is just the beginning of what could be a much larger exposure of Hollywood's deepest secrets. His connections to powerful figures, his manipulation of young stars, and the toxic environment he created are all part of a broader system of exploitation that has long existed in the entertainment industry. This is just the tip of the iceberg, said one Hollywood insider. As more details come to light, it's becoming clear that Diddy's downfall could be the first domino in a much larger chain reaction. The secrets of Hollywood are finally being exposed, and Diddy's story may be the catalyst for an industry-wide reckoning.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair. On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee. As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs.
Diddy is here in New York, in Manhattan. He apparently came here in anticipation that something like this might happen. What should we understand about what that might mean? It could very well be that this is a federal arrest being processed here in New York.
So, Abby, there are some important things we do not know, including the specific charges that have been lodged against Sean Combs. But there are some really important things we do know. First of all, based on the attorney's statement, based on our reporting, this is a federal prosecution. It's not a state prosecution. The fact that he's being processed in Manhattan tells me that's the Southern District of New York. That's consistent with the reporting that the Southern District of New York had been handling this case. That's the office I used to work at. That's an office that sort of specializes in high stakes cases. Just in the last year or so, Southern District of New York, just as an example, has successfully prosecuted Sam Bankman-Fried, Senator Robert Menendez. The other thing that we do know is a grand jury has indicted Sean Combs, meaning they found probable cause that he committed at least one federal crime. Now, as to what happens next, there will be, likely tomorrow or within the next couple days, but usually in the SDNY, you try to do it the next day, there will be an arraignment, meaning Sean Combs will appear in court with his lawyers. There are no cameras in federal court. He will be advised of the charges against him, and he will almost certainly enter a not guilty plea. But the key thing to watch for is then we'll have the question of bail. Will prosecutors agree to let him out on bail? Will prosecutors ask the judge to lock him up pending trial? That could end up in a contentious argument. So these are things that are going to play out over the next 24 or 48 hours.
Diddy's scandal is not an isolated incident. It's the doorway to uncovering the hidden truths about Hollywood's darkest corners. What started with whispers about exclusive parties has exploded into a series of accusations that reveal just how far the culture of exploitation in the entertainment industry reaches. From Jay-Z and Beyonce to political figures like Kamala Harris, the connections between Hollywood and power are undeniable. The scandal involving Diddy, Usher, and Eminem is just the surface of a much larger web of control, manipulation, and abuse that has remained hidden for far too long. As more people come forward with their stories, it's clear that the entertainment industry is due for a reckoning. Diddy's once untouchable status is crumbling, and the fallout from these revelations is likely to spread even further. The victims of this system, those who were manipulated, silenced, and exploited, are finally finding their voices. And with each new story, the cracks in Hollywood's facade grow wider. Thank you for watching, and if you want to stay informed as more revelations unfold, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's keep this conversation going. Please like, share, and comment below to let us know your thoughts. Together, we can expose the truth and hold those responsible accountable. Stay tuned for more updates.